Good morning and welcome to Lester Percussion Studio, again reporting from Marine Military Academy in Harlingen, Texas. Today I want to play a keyboard exercise I call Keyboard Rudiments. So I'm going to play it first and then I'll explain it afterward. Okay, so I had one little mistake in there, but so there's different parts to this. And remember, we have snare drum rudiments, which are patterns that we play on the snare drum, and that's why we learn them. We don't learn things one note at a time. We learn them in groups of clusters and patterns that show up in music. So the first line of this is called Tetra chords up and down. I like to explain it like this. The wall behind me here is made of brick walls. And a major scale is made of two tetra chords that are like a block of 4 notes. So the bottom half of the scale is like one block and the top half of the scale is like another block. So when you learn a tetra chord, it can be used 2 ways. Like this block could be the bottom half of the C scale, but the same block could be the top half of the F scale. So that's why tetra chords are important. Now, that was this part. So that tetra chord was starting on C, going up, and coming down. So that tetra chord could be the bottom half of the C scale, but if I start there, then this puts C at the top of a different tetra chord, which would be the bottom half of the G scale or the top half of the C scale. The next line is called mini scale. So what I do is, mini scale is the first 5 notes of a major scale, and I put an arpeggio on the end. And a little roll. The next I call the all-region pattern because here in Texas Public Schools, when we do region tryouts, we play scales like this. So we have a quarter note on the root of the scale so that these 7 notes can fit into 8 eighth notes of 4/4 time. The next exercise is called Green, named after George Hamilton Green, who in the early 1900s was a very famous jazz xylophone player, and this was one of his favorite warm-ups. And in this one, he does the major scale with constant eighth notes from the root of the scale up to the ninth scale degree. So I'm going to play C scale from C to D when I finally get to that part. And it goes like this. Halfway up, back to the bottom, all the way up, halfway back down to the G, back to the top, and all the way down. The next is scale in thirds. So I'm playing C, E, and then move up, D, F. Whoops. Ugh, sorry. Okay, the next is arpeggio inversions, where I start on 1, whoops, and then I go back to the 3, then back to the 5, and back to the top octave. And then that leads me to an exercise I put in. I call it leapfrog, and it's to practice slurring. So when you have to roll and you have to play a melody where you have to roll and connect to the next note. So I'm starting on C, and I'm using, I always want to move to the right, leading with my right hand, move to the left, leading with my left hand. For this exercise, I use groups of 5, which is an odd number, so that I can go, okay, so that takes me through slurring from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 8, and then 8 to 7, 8 to 6, 8 to 5, 8 to 4, 8 to 3, 8 to 2, 8 to 1. And that brings me to my final exercise that I'm going to call Lester. This is one of my favorite exercises based on the chromatic scale. I'm going to go halfway up, back to the bottom, all the way up to the top, halfway down, back to the top, and all the way down, like the green exercise does. And that's the whole exercise that I call keyboard rudiments. When I want to practice and warm up on my keyboards, I like to run through this in all 12 keys. So this written sheet is in the key of C. But once you learn it in the key of C, then you can do it in the key of F. And do it in all the keys. Transfer, and you'll learn your scales, and you'll be comfortable in any key you'll ever need to play in. So, also, just making a point that most of my other videos that I've posted here have all been on snare drum, a few on, not too much drum set, but I'll get to that sometime. But I just wanted to make a couple of points here, which is percussion is all about being versatile. We have to play snare drum, we have to play keyboard, we have to play timpani, we have to play triangle, we have to play tambourine, we have to play all kinds of different things. And we have our favorite things we love to do, and we have some stuff that we're not so hot at, and we need more practice on, and we don't really like them that much. But once you get better at them, then you'll like it more. So, as you probably already seen in this video, I made a few mistakes on the keyboard, and the keyboard's not my hottest thing, but I can at least survive on it and get by with it. So, I just wanted to put that out there. And what you don't like today might become your favorite thing 2 years from now. So just put in some time, work on it, get better. Okay, so feel free to like and subscribe. Lester Percussion Studio. We'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.